Hi folks, Patrick Stewart. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. With me tonight I've got my friend John. Y'all have been watching him watch Star Wars for his first time in his life ever for the past couple months. We're having a blast. At least I'm having a blast. I think you're enjoying it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
All right. Well, some of our viewers have been asking. You've got movies that you give 10s to. We've covered that in some of our prior films. Wanting to know some of like top 10 lists, things like that. And John and I actually kind of throwing an audible because we actually want to do a list of movies that are usually maligned by the public. Movies people usually don't like that we actually like. We really enjoy. And we compiled a list of just a few of them that like it, love it, disagree with it. Y'all might hate these movies, but we love them and we kind of want to defend them.
I'm sure they will hate them.
Yeah. Well, hey, would you believe there's people that hate Star Wars?
I would believe it.
You were one of them. Were past tense. So before we go any further, be sure to hit the thumbs up button, hit that like button, subscribe for future content, and turn on that notification bell. That way you know when these videos drop. So without further ado, John's going to kick this thing off. Tell me one of the movies that people generally just dislike that you really enjoy.
Oh man, the first one on my list that I've enjoyed it since the first time I saw it, maybe 20 years ago, and I loved it, and apparently everyone else hated it, and I didn't know it. It was Rocky V.
Okay.
I loved Rocky V from the first time I saw it. I thought it was great. I thought the story came full circle with Rocky. You know, he had his fame, he had his recognition, he had his wealth, and then it'd come Rocky V, and due to some shady financial decisions and some shady lawyers and some bad decisions, he lost it all.
Yeah.
He found himself back on the streets of Philly.
So I'm assuming you saw all the other Rockies before you saw Rocky V.
Yes.
I enjoy it for what it is. I'll tell you what I take issue with. I think why people don't really like Rocky V and the franchise so much is, you see Rocky start off kind of slow, not the, best mental specimen.
Right.
And Adrian, his wife, really helps educate him, get him reading, because he couldn't even shoot a commercial in Rocky II. By the end of Rocky III and Rocky IV, you really see that he's actually an educated, sophisticated fighter. He's not just a dull rocks in the head Rocco.
Right.
And what I didn't like that they did with number 5 is, you've got this kind of clean-cut Rocky who come out of Rocky IV, one of his best victories ever, and then all of a sudden he's like, again in Rocky V. And it's like, I can buy that he's lost all his money. I can buy that he's got to go back to Philly, living in the projects. I can buy all of that. What I couldn't buy is like suddenly he's unintelligent again. I'm like, I'm not buying that one. I'm really not.
Yeah.
That's where I had a hard time suspending disbelief.
Okay. I can see that. On the other hand, I thought it wasn't as much of Rocky being dumb again as him just getting back to like a street smart Rocky rather than a book smart Rocky.
Okay.
And let's face it, as far as book smarts go, he wasn't the brightest.
Now, I'll tell you what I did really enjoy about Rocky V, because I like it. I don't love it, but I do like it as part of the franchise. What I really liked was his son being in it. I really did enjoy that.
Oh, yeah. Having his real-life son in the movie, playing his movie son, I thought that really built the credibility between the characters.
Hits a soft spot in my heart.
Yeah.
I think that's probably why I buy it too. I think my favorite part, though, of that movie is I didn't like Tommy Gunn. I thought he didn't really sell me as a villain. Whatever. Rocky had better bad guys to fight, but I mean, how are you going to top Ivan Drago? So,
right. I didn't take Tommy Gunn as the main antagonist. I took the fight promoter.
Okay.
Who was supposed to be like Don King.
Yeah.
I took it as him being the main antagonist.
Well, I did enjoy the street fight at the end.
Yes.
Now I really did enjoy seeing that side
was
of Rocky.
awesome.
Like, come on, let's go outside,
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not a bad movie. I mean, I like it. I can understand why a lot of people, and you're going to see this with Star Wars. Star Wars fans there's like, you know, the hardcore fans like the originals, and then the newer ones that came out, they're like, oh no, how dare you like those? And I think the same thing kind of happened with Rocky, is you had those original Rocky movies, and then it's years and years and years later, and here comes, you know, Sly with another Rocky,
Right.
and then another Rocky, and another Rocky, and then you got the Rocky 2.0 series called Creed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen Creed 1, I haven't seen Creed 2.
Creed 2 was good.
No?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Who's he fighting in that one? Is it Drago's son?
Drago's son, yes.
Man.
Yeah.
Man,
That was a good one. I liked Creed 2 better than Creed 1.
Well, if you like Creed 2 better than Creed 1, I might have to watch Creed 2 because I enjoyed Creed 1.
I felt like Creed 2 fit more into the Rocky story than Creed 1 did.
Okay. All right. Well, you gave me a movie. Now I'll give you a movie. So one of the movies I really enjoy that a lot of people just don't seem to like was 47 Ronin with Keanu Reeves. I absolutely love that movie. Love it, love it, love it. I love the mythology. I love how they took some... Japan's history ties in a lot with mythology, and I love how they took that, and they took the story of the samurai and Keanu's place in there, and basically how he was kind of like the outcast, like the servant. And I like that whole, like, I'm going to prove myself kind of thing, but really he ends up kind of being the hero of the film and the savior of the film, and you have all these samurai who are now Ronin and have no master, and just like the whole bird people in the forest and the bamboo and the oh man, it was just, to me it was like watching a comic book come to life. And if you study any of Japan's history and their mythology, I think that's really why I appreciate it, because when I was in college I studied a lot of, I was a foreign area study, did a lot of Chinese study, but it just kind of bled over. It, you know, I didn't just fall in love with China, then I wanted to study Japan, and I wanted to study their culture, and it's just amazing to me how similar they can be, but very different in the Japanese culture. I mean, even the way the islands have come to be, it's all mythology, and that's basically what you get in 47 Ronin. You get the samurai, you get the Ronin, you get the race of magical bird people. You get actually sorcerers and witches that can do magics as well. It's kind of neat. And I thought they did a good portrayal of it. A whole lot better than Matt Damon's, you know, Great Wall movie. I didn't buy that one at all.
I haven't seen that one.
Don't waste your time. All right, so moving on. What's another movie?
Second one on my list. I know a lot of people are gonna hate me for this.
I actually, we've got the paper down here in front. I can see it, and I'm cringing already.
Yeah. Street Fighter.
All right, and I'll see myself out. All right, Street Fighter.
Street Fighter.
Now, I love the video game.
Yes, as do I. And as terrible a movie as that was, anytime I see it on television, I have to stop and watch it for a few minutes, which turns into the whole movie.
Well, that's not saying anything, because that's like a train wreck. That's like an accident on the interstate. You have to stop and watch it. You can't just keep driving and not look over and go, oh my goodness, what happened over there? You're gonna stop. Doesn't mean it's a good thing. So anyway, sell me on it. Why is it's a good movie?
Well, you got Jean-Claude Van Damme. He was at the peak of his stardom. He's playing the main character. You know, he's leading this whole team of all these fighters to combat M. Bison, played by Raul Julia.
I forgot that.
Gomez Adams.
Okay.
You know?
Yeah, I forgot that.
And one thing that gave me a whole lot of respect for him was the only reason he took that role is because his son wanted to see him play that character.
Oh.
And it ended up being one of his final roles.
Oh, yeah. I mean, so, yeah, you mad respect for that. I just, when I think of that movie, all I can see is the way they portrayed Blanca, the green beast.
Yeah.
It reminded me of like a 1970s, 1980s Lou Ferrigno playing Incredible Hulk. Like, let's just slather a guy up in some green skin paint and there's your beast. I wasn't buying it, man. I wasn't buying it. Plus, Jean-Claude Van Damme, I mean, yeah, he was playing Guile, but he didn't have the big, huge flat top. I mean, he's supposed to have the flat top.
Well, I just chalk that up to budget restrictions.
Okay. Well, I'll give you that one. I still don't like it. That's a horrible movie. You'll know. Horrible movie.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah.
Well, in the vein of fighters in fighter movies, I will say that Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
I know it's cheesy.
Yes, super cheesy.
Oh my goodness, and it's like, yeah, it's cheesy,
Super.
but it's the same thing when that movie comes on.
Yeah.
I mean, drop what you're doing. May as well forget it. I'm going to sit down and watch it.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit down and watch it.
I get it. I get it.
I mean, you got all your favorite fighters. You got Liu Kang in there, and he's kicking some butt. You got Sub-Zero, who didn't really get hardly anything good on his screen time. But, I mean, come on, the fight with Johnny Cage and Scorpion, and you had Goro. And you remember the practical effects that they did for Goro when they made that forearm dude?
Yes.
It was all practical. It wasn't
Yeah.
CGI. That just was mind-blowing at the time. They're like, oh, look how advanced this is. I mean, the story was horrible. Horrible.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely
Yeah.
horrible. And then the guy playing Shang Tsung, I mean, yeah, you're like, that dude needs to die. He's a bad guy. But yeah, it was pretty hokey. I think it's better than Street Fighter.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Probably, yeah. But this is movies that we love that other people hate.
Yeah. So, well, did you hate Mortal Kombat?
No.
See?
I really didn't.
But I still hate Street Fighter.
It's a terrible movie.
It is
But it's one of those, just like Street Fighter, I will stop and watch it.
There you go. Yeah. Well, Rocky 5. I'll stop and watch it. 47 Ronin. Have you ever seen it?
I didn't make it through it.
You tried.
I tried.
It does drag. It
Yes.
drags because they're trying to build that mythology. Okay. All right. Well, moving on. We both have a fighter film in those top 5. So what's your next film you got?
My next one is a comedy with Ben Stiller
Okay.
and Jack Black called Envy. And as I was compiling my
Ben
list,
Stiller, like,
Ben Stiller, yes.
okay.
Ben
Funny
Stiller.
guy.
Yeah.
Jack Black. Funny guy. I've never heard of this movie.
Well, it revolves around two friends that have been friends. They're middle class guys, and one of them invents a spray that makes dog poop disappear. Yeah. So, no more picking up after your dog.
Why would no one want to watch this film?
You just, I don't know.
That's a novel idea.
Yeah.
I mean, a movie about dog poop.
But
Why have I never heard of
the
this?
whole thing is, hear me out. The whole thing is he invents this spray and he becomes wealthy overnight. It's a huge success. Everybody loves it. People are buying it off the shelves. Stores can't keep it in stock. He instantly becomes wealthy overnight, immediately gets into the wealthy lifestyle while his friend is still middle class guy.
So who's
working
the
9 to
guy
5.
that's making all the money?
Jack Black.
Jack Black.
Yeah.
And then Ben Stiller is the one he's
Yeah,
envious.
he's envious.
Yeah.
He's still living his middle class 9 to 5 lifestyle. Stays up all night because he can't sleep. And who does he see on TV? He sees his friend on the Home Shopping Network pushing his poop spray.
Okay. Does his friend not throw him some money? Because, I mean, if I win the lottery, man, I mean, let's just say I win, $100 million. I'm going to throw you a cool $1 million, man.
Well,
I mean, suddenly you're rich. You want to have rich friends, right?
Yeah. I think he tries to help him out, but then the jealousy gets to Ben Stiller's character, and he just doesn't want anything to do with him, and he's yelling about flan, what is it? How do you say it? I don't know. And he's just angry.
Okay.
But it's classified as a dark comedy. I don't see what's so dark about it.
Dog poop.
Dark. But I enjoy it. I enjoyed the movie. I love Ben Stiller and Jack Black.
Well, I can't say that I don't like it. I've never seen it, never heard of it until tonight. So I will probably actually check that one out. So
A lot of people hate it. My wife hates it.
all right, so the next one on my list is one that I honestly don't understand why people didn't like it. I thought it was a neat take on a superhero film. Is Hancock with Will Smith. I loved it. I absolutely loved it. Now, I did go back and see the unedited, unrated version or whatever. I didn't like that one at all. That was unnecessary. But
I haven't seen that one.
I really enjoyed it. I like the fact that you got this guy who's basically a superhero. There's no one else like him. He got a drinking problem. He's got memory problems. I mean, this guy is completely flawed from the get-go. It's not your typical, here's the superhero. I mean, it's not really portrayed as a superhero film. It's believable that if there's a superhero out there in the world, this is kind of what it's going to be like. I found it to be very believable. I mean, come on, the way he was messing with the kid in the neighborhood. Say it again, and he chucks the kid up in the air, and it's like, no, you can't do that. What is it, Jason Bateman?
Yeah.
He cracks me up. I think
Jason Bateman's awesome.
I think him and Will Smith back and forth with each other was downright amazing. I can never say her name. Charlize Theron. She's a chameleon. She can play in any movie.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you make a movie about dog poop, she could probably play in that.
Yeah, she would have made Envy 10 times better.
10 times better. Yeah. Loved her in Italian Job. That was probably my favorite movie with her. But I liked it. The only thing I didn't really like about it was the ending. That whole, found out that she's a superhero. Now, that was a cool twist when you found out she was like a superhero. Didn't see that coming at all. But then when you found out how this weird rules in their universe works, that if they're near each other, they're not super, and they have to be apart from each other to be super, I felt like that was kind of thrown in there as a white rabbit to just explain, well, why are they been apart all these years? Because if they're together, they're not super. It just felt like it was kind of just thrown in. I hope they make another one, truth be told. I doubt they will. But
I doubt they will.
Yeah, I'd love to see if there's more superheroes out there like that.
I like the first half of Hancock. I felt like the last half, they tried to make it into a legitimate superhero movie.
Yeah.
And I felt like they had two pieces that they were trying to fit together.
Yeah.
And
it felt very rushed in the second half.
Yes, very rushed.
But that first half, I really, 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 I liked it. I like the part that really grabbed my heart and made the character compelling was when he was talking about he woke up in a hospital, he didn't have any memory, and nobody showed up. He's like, what kind of person was I that nobody would claim me, nobody would know me. That's what grabbed me. I was like, oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And it's Will Smith, so
yeah.
I mean, he's awesome.
Okay, well, there's another one of mine. What about yours? Moving on.
Next one on my list.
I'm just looking at this list.
I can't help laughing when I see the list.
I mean, you understand how you strain our friendship. You'd never seen Star Wars in 25 years. Okay, that's a big forgive. And then I look on this list and I'm like, Street Fighter? You don't like Star Wars, but you like Street Fighter? And then I'm looking at this next one like, who are you?
I ask myself that question every day. Who am I? Oh. The next one on the list is The Nutty Professor 2, The Clumps.
I mean, let's just start with the fact that you got past number 1. There's a number 2?
There is.
I didn't know there was a number 2.
And it has 3 times as many fart jokes in it as the first.
Oh my God. The first one was at least funny, but it was stupid.
Oh yeah, this one's even dumber.
Oh my God.
But I love it. It's another one of those, if I see it on TV, I have to stop. I have to watch it.
Well, I'm going to tell you what, if it's got as many fart jokes as you're talking about, there's a guy I know named Chris Bowles who would probably crack up watching this film.
Yes, we have to recommend that to him.
I'm going to have to watch another bad film. I can't even bring this.
You got Eddie Murphy that plays a grandma she's a sex-crazed grandma.
Well, now Eddie Murphy, he does do a lot of movies where he plays...
Oh, yeah, he plays the whole entire family.
Well, it's like, he did a lot of the characters in Coming to America.
Oh, yes.
And, they're making another one of those.
Yes, I can't wait. I hope they bring Arsenio Hall back, too.
They better bring Arsenio Hall back.
Yes, put those two back together.
Yeah. All right. Well, my next one is actually also got Eddie Murphy in it. Go figure. Sheer coincidence. We did not sit down and make these lists together. We didn't do that. Is the movie I Spy. Comedy action flick.
I like that one.
Eddie, see? Thank you.
I liked it, yeah.
Eddie Murphy and Owen Wilson. That is amazing.
Yes.
Got Famke Janssen in there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just the cast was... I couldn't. Half the movie, it's like, is this serious? Are they trying to be funny? Are they? Is it funny on accident? Are they making fun of themselves? It had a little bit of everything. It's like they were making fun of themselves. They were making fun of each other. They were making fun of the spy genre. I just that, like, when they're sitting there on the truck and Eddie Murphy keeps freaking out, but Owen Wilson is keeping his cool, but he's really like a B-league spy anyway. I couldn't stop laughing the whole film, but I did want to see where it goes. Like, where's this mystery going to take us?
Oh yeah, and of course, I mean it's Eddie Murphy. He's hilarious when he just starts talking. He just starts talking and goes out on a tangent, and it's hilarious.
I wonder how much of that movie was actually ad-libbed when they were having their scenes.
Oh, I would say only half of it was scripted.
No, that to me, that's one of those ones where if it's on, even if I just see a little bit of it, it's like, I'm going to tune in and watch this just because I know I'm going to laugh.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, so what's the last one you got on the list?
The last one for me is Last Action Hero.
Now that's I got to agree with you. That is one that I don't understand why people don't like it.
I loved it.
That
I love it.
the only thing I can think of is perhaps because you were talking about how Jean-Claude Van Damme top of his career, and then goes out on a limb and does this whole Street Fighter thing. Arnold Schwarzenegger, top of his career, top of his game, and then he goes and does kind of a campy film like Last Action Hero. But I love the concept of it.
Yeah, I thought it was, as a kid when it first came out, I was probably 10 years old when it came out, and I loved it.
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, it was pretty long ago.
Yeah.
It came out when Jurassic Park came out.
Wow. It's been a while.
Because I remember Schwarzenegger said, "I refuse to go down to a bunch of overgrown lizards." And of course, he went down to some overgrown lizards.
Yeah. Well, I remember in the movie the kind of teasing and making fun of with Sylvester Stallone.
Yes. Yeah.
How he was like all the Terminator films.
Yeah. Yeah. Arnold was like, "Yeah, it's his best performance. It's never been better."
Yeah.
And me being a Terminator fan, I really I appreciated that twist on that. And then the scene, the cameo with Robert Patrick as they're walking into the police station.
Oh,
You
yeah.
see the T-1000 walking out.
And the kid's like,
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go with you on that one. That's a great movie. So one that I've got on my list, it's in a specific genre, Star Trek. The original Star Trek movies with William Shatner. But even amongst people that love them, Star Trek V, Final Frontier, there's a lot of folks that just hate that one. Brief background, basically they go to find God, at least what they think to be God. Supposedly at the center of the universe where nobody's ever gone because every ship dies and implodes and disappears forever. It's kind of like the Bermuda Triangle of outer space. The half-brother of Spock, he believes that that God is there. And the whole thing is about kidnapping or, space jacking the USS Enterprise to go to this planet. There's a lot of very conservative Christians that hated the concept and like, oh, this is blasphemy. Well, if you pay attention to the movie, they never actually say he is God. They find out it's an alien pretending to be God who's a very violent alien with nefarious purposes to just spread his malice throughout the universe. It really doesn't fit in the franchise very well. It doesn't fit in the story. There's no continuity from the rest of them to this one. It's kind of like just a one-off. But what I really love about that film is you get to see the renewed relationship between Captain Kirk and Spock and McCoy, just how tight they all are. And once we get to doing our favorite movie moments, you'll find out later on that the relationship and the friendship between Kirk and Spock is always a very soft spot for me. And throughout all the nutty craziness of the movie, there at the center of it is this friendship between Spock and Kirk. And, you got Bones over there just complaining about everything. And it's just a pretty darn good movie. If you can suspend the whole, here we go looking for God, that's why they call it Star Trek V, the final frontier. They're like, the final frontiers, we're going to go find God out in outer space. So, hey, it was a weird one. But I think it also holds a spot for me, too, because I went to the theater to see it with my dad. He's the one that got me into Star Trek. And then, here they come with the new Star Trek movie. He's like, let's go to the theater and watch Star Trek. And then I remember when we finished watching the movie, I didn't like it. He didn't like it. We were looking at each other like, what did we just watch? But throughout the years, it's one of those ones where if it's on, I'm going to watch it. It's a good film,
Yeah.
Well, there you have it, folks. 5 movies apiece. Movies that usually people just don't like. We love them. We're going to keep loving them.
As stupid as they may be.
Well, except Envy. I never saw Envy. I'm going to have to watch Envy. In the Clumps. Didn't even know they had a Nutty Professor too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You picked some obscure ones there.
Yeah. There's a reason they didn't make a third one.
So there's good. So anyway, there you have it, folks. My friend John. My name's Patrick. Thank you so much for tuning into the channel. Thanks for letting us do this. We'll get back to filming his reactions to Star Wars in the next video. And in the meantime, let's get nerdy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that phrase. We're not going to use it.
No, you're not?
No, we used it in a couple of them, but I haven't used it anymore.
I like it.
We got to find a better...
I like it.
Yeah? Okay. You like it?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's get nerdy with it.
Let's get nerdy with it. See you next time.